We're back with more Call to the Booth, DFS, Week 11. It's time to make some picks to help you guys win some money going into the weekend. As we always do, we have some locks before we go into some more explanation, so let's just lock some things down right quick. Kirk Cousins at quarterback, $6,200 on DraftKings, going against the Dallas secondary. You know how it goes. Dallas secondary, Seahawks secondary, usually target them. That's what we're going to do this week. At running back, DeAndre Swift, he's really starting to uptick, getting a lot of carries, getting some passes out the backfield. We're not seeing too much from Adrian Peterson against that Carolina Panthers defense, who might not have Teddy Bridgewater, so it could be a game where you could really run out the ball, run out the clock. We're running with DeAndre Swift at $6,400. Then we're going to go back to that game with the Vikings and the Dallas Cowboys. Justin Jefferson at $6,000, and we're going to hit it back with CeeDee Lamb at $5,000. Andy Dalton is back. That's a big key.
Yep.
He's been practicing. Andy Dalton's playing. So now you can feel a little bit more confident in those Dallas Cowboys wide receivers. And because of what Teddy Bridgewater might be going through, might not be playing, we're going to go with that really cheap price for the Detroit Lions defense at $2,700. No, they're not a no-fly zone team, but $2,700 is a very good price. So that's what we're going to roll with. Kirk Cousins, DeAndre Swift, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, Detroit Lions defense. That's our shell. Now it's time to build it out. And I think we'll start, Aqib, with the big running back position. There's a big debate in the industry this week. Are you going with Alvin Kamara or are you going with Dalvin Cook? Which one do you like more?
Well, honestly, I don't think you really can go wrong with neither one of them. I think both of them going to have big days. But, I'm going to ride with Cook just because, we're going to save $200 doing it. And this DFS stuff getting tough, man.
Yes, it is.
We got a shop.
Yes, it is.
We got a
got a shop.
We got a shop around here, man. So we know we can save some money somewhere, and we think we're going to get good production. We're going to ride with that, man. So we're going to ride with Cook at that running back spot.
$9,200 for Kamara, $9,000 for Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
Real quick for people who are looking at Alvin Kamara, with Jameis Winston at quarterback, with Taysom Hill probably getting snaps at quarterback, do you feel confident that Kamara is still going to get those short catches and get out into and see one-on-one coverage against a linebacker? And then also too, and you and I kind of talked about this before the show, Atlanta's rush defense has actually been pretty good this year, considering what people always thought, correct?
Yeah, definitely. They definitely not too bad. They're not the best, but they're not too bad. But I think Kamara going to probably have even more design touches with Breeze being out, because a lot of that stuff is in the offense, but a lot of that stuff is just Breeze see your coverage, check down real quick, or he just make quick decisions and get him the football. But I think it'd be a lot more designed to give him the football just because they're trying to, fill that void with Breeze not being there. So I don't think you could go wrong with either pick, man. Dalvin Cook playing the Cowboys, man. And
all right.
Kamara,
if the price was equal, both $9,000, who you taking?
I'm still taking Cook.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, if you're taking them, if they're even price, you're still taking Cook.
Still taking Cook.
You're saving two. There you go, settled.
Definitely.
Okay, let's go to that wide receiver position. Matt Stafford, it has been in and out. Last week at least he didn't. I think it was either last week or the week before, he wasn't practicing.
Yeah.
You got to see him He got back
last
to practice
week
when you were in Detroit.
Yeah, he
got back to practice.
Got back to practice last week.
And he also got a limited participant in practice this week too.
Yeah, he got a little thumb issue in the game. He had a little thumb issue came up in the game, a little ligament, a little sprain or something in his thumb. But Matt Stafford, one of the toughest quarterbacks I know, man. He did that maybe in the first quarter, and you couldn't tell that his thumb he taped that thing up. You couldn't tell his thumb was bothering him for the rest of that game. He threw the ball all around. So I think he's gonna be straight. So with that wide out spot, man, we got Galladay coming back. Man, he going to come with some fresh legs, man. He going to have a little bounce to his step. We're going to ride with Kenny Galladay at that spot. Against Carolina,
on
too.
Wednesday.
Yeah, Carolina defense, they struggling anyway. So we're going to ride with Galladay right there.
That's only two. He's $5,800. That's a very cheap price. He's $200 less than Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
If he actually does play, he was a limited participant on Wednesday. If he actually keeps on trending towards playing, that's a ridiculous price for one of the top 10 receiver in the league?
Yeah,
I would assume.
I'll give him. I have to go through him before I stamp him with a top 10. But man, he definitely big on scoring touchdowns and getting points. I mean, that's the name of the game in this fantasy, man. who gonna get in the end zone. So I
For
like
sure.
I
All
like
right.
I like Galladay to get in the end zone.
There we go. Okay, so now we're gonna look at the tight end position. We got $8,900 left. The Cincinnati Bengals. I think it was back in 2018. Yes, 2018. They took Will Jackson III as their new shutdown corner. He's their lead corner now. Drake Kirkpatrick is obviously now in Arizona. They trust Will Jackson a lot. We don't know how it's going to turn out with him versus Terry McLaurin. But if that matchup ends up to be even somewhat,
Yeah.
that's going to leave some other targets on the field for Alex Smith.
I mean, even if it's not even, we're gonna ride with Logan Thomas just because Alex Smith throw the ball to Logan Thomas. Before when it was Allen threw the ball to Logan Thomas, man. He's just a part of their offense, period. And with Alex Smith, he loved to throw to his tight ends and his backs, man. He loved, if he sees zone coverage, he gonna look for them tight ends and them backs. You know what I'm saying? So Logan Thomas should have a nice 7-8 targets in there, man. He had some targets last week when I was at the game. So, man, it should be a solid day. We just hope he get in that zone. We hope some of them targets come in that red zone and he score a touchdown for us. So, man,
and if
Logan
he gets
Thomas,
in the end zone, at 3,300 on DK, you're getting an
we winning.
absolute steal. The one
winning.
thing I can't understand it. Like when I was used to cover the Bengals, their issues always were offensive line and linebackers, and it continues to be an issue year after year after year.
They try to
it's
fix
crazy
it.
to me.
They try to fix it. They just get the wrong guy sometimes. So, hey,
Yeah, it's like
part of it.
certain teams. Certain teams, for example, like how can you go 5 years long without fixing your offensive line? Like it just, I get frustrated. I'm not a Bengals fan, but it's just like, yo,
Right.
we all know the issue. Get it done.
Right.
It is what it is. All right. So we're here with that. That was my little Bengal soliloquy. All right. $5,600 left
reminiscing
to
and
spend. Yeah. $5,600 left at the flex position. Who you rolling with?
Man, we're gonna roll with Balaz. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah, Kalen Ballage.
Yeah, Kalen Ballage.
Well, actually, before we do that, though, Paul, if you could drop us right back. At $5,600 left, let me give you the rest of our options here.
Let me see.
DJ Moore, Boston Scott, Travis Fulgham, Tyler Boyd against that Washington defense. Tony Pollard would just make sense to play. Jarvis Landry, interesting, against the Philadelphia Eagles at $5,500. Gio Bernard with Joe Mixon not playing at $5,500. Duke Johnson with David Johnson not playing for the Texans, and Amari Cooper at $5,400. So those are the options. DJ Moore, Travis Fulgham, Kalen Ballage, Tyler Boyd, Jarvis Landry, Gio Bernard, Duke Johnson, Amari Cooper. They all look enticing. Which one do you like the most? I know we had talked about Ballage before, but
yeah,
you got some options.
It's a lot of good options out there. But it's only one of them guys playing against the Jets. And that's Balaz. And that is Balaz. And then, look, Balaz got hella touches last week, man. I'm talking about like 24, 25 touches, period, last week. He was like the main back, you know what I'm saying? And he was pretty solid at it. So I like him to come back, be the main back, get all the touches again this week against the Jets. I like him to get in the zone for us, too. So we're going to ride with Balaz against them Jets.
We'll roll with that. Obviously, if you do make that pick, you must pay attention to the Austin Eckler practice report. If Austin Eckler looks like he might be playing, you still might want to go with Ballage, but you have to be a little bit more cautious with that. All right, looks like we got our lineup. Aqib, can you give it to him, please?
Here we go. We got Cousins at the QB, man, going against that Cowboys secondary. Dalvin Cook going against that Cowboys defense. We got Swift, hot, man. He looking good, man. He's starting to be the main back. Got his first start last week. And he taking most of the touches, the majority of the touches for the running backs. Kenny Galladay probably looking like he going to make his return. Hopefully he make his return for us. Get in the end zone for us against that Carolina secondary. CeeDee Lamb with Andy Dalton back. We got Jefferson, man. He going against that Cowboys secondary, and he on the money right now, too. He balling right now, too. We got Logan Thomas at the tight end. Bunch of targets going to come his way with Alex Smith. We got Kenny Ballage against that Jets defense, and he got a bunch of touches last week. That Lions, we're going to roll with the Lions defense against Carolina because Bridgewater might be down. He got that MCL. I don't expect him to play, man. That MCL will be loose and make your knee feel like it'll buckle at any moment. you probably missed 1 week for it, at least 1 week. A DB missed 3 weeks, a quarterback missed about at least 1 week. So I say he's gonna be down, and backup quarterback in there, man. Lions gonna be able to make some plays, get a couple sacks, get a couple picks for us.
That's the hard part when it comes to this, because obviously this is our fantasy football show.
Yeah.
And you start looking at the fantasy appeal of guys. We about 2-3 weeks from playoffs, and if you got Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, Mike Davis on your team, and you hear that Teddy Bridgewater is out, you're like, yo, come on.
Yeah.
This is the worst time of the year.
You don't want to hear that.
Obviously, injuries in general suck, but when you factor in your fantasy implications, it's brutal. It is brutal.
You do not want to hear that.
No, indeed. And I wonder how that impacts the line for their game on Sunday. Maybe that's something we could look into. But and obviously when we do that in our next segment, we'll look at our big primetime games, especially that big-time Monday Night Football game, Rams, Bucks. That's a fun one. We're going to preview it next. We'll be right back with more Call to the Booth.